Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk on Monday evening, and we've got an exciting show today. If I don't hit the wrong button and
Just
boot
keep
myself
your hands
out,
in your lap.
there you go. I just got to do that. I just want to see some of the chat because I got my bigger screen here now, so I can see a little bit of it. But it's so weird that our streaming software and the YouTube software are in like a little bit of a delay. So it's just weird, confusing seeing both pictures.
Yeah, it's about 3-4 seconds. I guess that's the best that can be done in this day and age. I guess I don't know.
Right. And Jocelyn's over there in the other room there, and she's feeling a little bit under the weather because of a tooth problem that we've been ongoingly having. And tonight I'm going to bail exactly at 8 o'clock so I can go get her an antibiotic because the dentist, while I was sitting here talking with Jeff, had just called and said, hey, we've got that and it's in, so I got to go pick it up for her. But we're going to have
it is truly at the pharmacy, not at the liquor store.
And she might have been better off if I went to the liquor store.
Well, that's true. Well, you can make 2 trips,
Yes, numb it on the gum because she's having gum issues and it's just painful for her.
2 stops. That's it.
Yeah. All righty. So I guess we better get started, Jeff, because I got a lot of announcements tonight. Did you see Deus 2 or Deus has an upgrade?
Yep, the update is ready.
Yes, and
you do it differently this time. You do not have to download it. You update directly from their website. So,
and the very cool thing about that, Jeff, is you could do it on your Mac computer.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I hadn't done it yet. I'm probably going to do it tomorrow or the next day.
So you can do it on any computer, PC or Mac. And that's, to me, it's the consumer always wins. People bitch about stuff, and next thing you know, there it's done. Yeah. Now, Macro had done that from the beginning. So I'm glad they jumped on that because a lot of our members do, like myself, do have Macs and don't have a PC. I'm staring at my Mac desktop here. So, and it seems to work real well for me. Yeah. But anyway, let me get started real quick. Of course, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk member or guest belong solely to the member or guest and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin.
True.
Boy, that was a lot to say.
Yes,
and of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And we're going to do that.
We certainly are. We're going to do our bestest to do that.
Oh, we always do it.
Now, everybody, remember, please, if you have not, we're doing a special show Sunday. It'll be a special Treasure Talk episode. We'll kick off at 4:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. That's Eastern Standard Time, 4:30. I will be at the beach in Daytona. Phil will be in sunny Tampa, Florida. And we're going to debut a brand new company that Phil will have in stock as of Wednesday. Yes. And I think it's certainly one that you're going to be very interested in. It's got something for everybody, any kind of hunting, water hunting, beach hunting, land hunting. So it's a fine company. Please tune in. You have seen the entry video. I know it's on Facebook. Treasure Talk Facebook, where you can enter for the giveaway. From now on, you can enter on Facebook as well, because we're back to streaming on Facebook. And I'll put the videos up every Tuesday about the giveaways for the next week. And so you can enter on YouTube and or on Facebook. So we look to see you. And we're going to have 3 winners Sunday, and something you'll want. So make sure that you go find the entry, Follow the directions, use the phrase, and be sure you're tuned in to win on Sunday, the 21st at 4:30 p.m. It's going to be a really exciting show, a really exciting new product line for Myers Metal Detectors.
Oh, it's going to be an awesome product line. I'm really looking forward to that because we've had some guests on here use it. Chicago Ron was talking about his Motley, so
Yep.
and he was traveling with it, so that's going to be nice too. Before we get started bringing on a guest, I want to remind folks that the Tampa Metal Detecting Club meeting is tomorrow night here in Tampa, and that's the WSAS Metal Detecting Club. And what happened?
Nothing, I just made you bigger.
Oh,
So puff up a little bit, son.
you scared me a little bit. So that's at 13336 North Central Avenue at 7 o'clock in the Cornucopia building. And Dwight Cologne is going to be the speaker. So I'm sure with the Dwight Cologne and the New Age Goonies and Naka, not Naka Macro, I got to keep saying Naka. He's going to really educate the Naka users. So, and of course, any metal detectors. He's got a wealth of wisdom. He's over in Central Florida, over in Orlando area. It's going to be fun for sure. So if you're anywhere near the Tampa Bay area, check that out. And then what else do I have? I talked about the Deus update and
about the LG30 and all that kind of stuff.
The LG30 is in stock. It was so funny. We had Dwight on the show, and I didn't think we'd see those updates, those update kits for another couple weeks, but boom, on Friday and Saturday it was in. So,
so you've got everything.
Those are in stock, and we've already sold a few to some members on here. I had a couple people. I actually had a couple come in here just before we started up today. They didn't want to wait. They drove from I think Sarasota and picked it up. So.
And also in stock now at Myers Metal Detectors is
what?
Well, I think you have Xterra Pro.
Oh yes,
we have Minelab Equinox 900s and Manticores.
Yes, we have them all, but we have a professional actor.
We do, the big size each.
Yeah, we got a professional actor to talk about that. But yes, we do have a limited supply of Manticores, loads of 900s and 700s, and, some Xterra Pros. Yes, they're in stock. So,
and our guest tonight is an expert on all of them.
Right,
and you're going to find all about it.
Yeah, a Minelab expert. So that's cool.
That's right.
So I guess that was all the announcements I had, Jeff. How about you?
No, I have just if you got an XP Days too, the update is ready. Make sure you're tuned in on Sunday for our special Motley Digging Tools debut show, where you will learn all about all the Motley Digging Tools and meet the owner and creator of the Motley group and a couple of their pro staffers. So if you have any questions about anything like that, they'll make sure you get them answered, and you might win a Motley grass knife. So we're giving away 3 of those. So it's all going to be good. So I think we probably need to get cracking.
Yes.
So everybody, and right at 8 o'clock, as soon as I see 8 o'clock comes, even if we're not quite done, Phil's going to boogie. He's got to get the medicine for Jocelyn.
Yeah, she needs some medicine. Yes.
Right.
And Jeff, why don't you mute me for a second, because Jocelyn's having trouble with.
You're muted. Okay. We'll get there. I don't know what's going on. Then they hadn't had any medicine yet at all, but it's early yet. So we got a bunch of folks in the house. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Is Jocelyn's all right?
Yeah, she got it. It was a false alarm.
We don't want her to fall out there during the show.
Yes, because she's very valuable. It was kind of her idea to do this show, so we're proud of her, and we want her just to get through this tooth pain and help us out. So
now, if she needs help on how to dose her medicine, I'll be happy to tell her.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Straight from Canada, the frozen north. Although I think it's very nice up there now. It's not frozen or anyway icebergy. I don't think at this time. So the authority, a Minelab authority of the utmost quality, Relic Dirtyhands and Eric are in the house tonight to talk Manticore, Equinox, Xterra Pro, everything Minelab. So if you got your questions, make sure you pop them in the chat. Either Jocelyn will see them or I'll see them. And let's find out everything you ever wanted to know about Minelab. Here is Lori and Eric, Relic Dirtyhands. There we go.
Hey guys.
There we are. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome, guys. And I'm sure people are going to have questions, but I've got a real big one for you guys because I know you used the Equinox series for a long time. And this is a good question. Why should somebody upgrade to the Manticore?
It's a game changer. The additional information it gives you, it's taken the guessing out of a lot. I found with the Equinox, I mean, yes, you can definitely understand its language and all this sort of stuff, but you do have to analyze a lot. And I find with the Manticore, it basically gives you all the information that you need to know to make a decision if you'll dig or not. It's fantastic.
Okay. Now, with you guys, you're in Canada, of course. So does it aid in finding the Canadian coins? Because I know some of those are stainless.
Yeah, I mean, our steel coins have always been an issue. I mean, steel is not a very great, and a lot of people are not looking for steel. What I love, but with the Minelab Equinox, it was capable of finding clad coins. A lot of people had trouble finding them, but when you're running Park 2, it was able to find them as it would jump between 2 and 7, but they have a very unique sound. But what I like about the Manticore is you can use all the modes and you can actually adjust your ferrous limits. So all I do is take little blocks out and then all of a sudden I hear our Canadian coins. So you have the option if you want to hear them or not. And that's what I absolutely love, because not everywhere do I want to hear Canadian coins. Sometimes I want the relics or just the silver and stuff like that. So
that's one of the first things we tried.
The very first thing.
Adjust the ferrous limits and play with that and try to hear the Canadian coins. And you can make them sound really good.
Really good, yeah. They still have a very unique tone to them though, which is really kind of cool. They have this kind of wobble. So because of within those ferrous limits, other trash targets do come in that same range. But just by the audio sound of the way they're reacting and the smudge and the trace, you can tell if it's a clad coin or if it's a piece of iron. So.
Well, the coin would have like the circular shape on the display there, and you guys can see that.
Oh, that's what's really neat is sometimes, but the thing is, it's not always circular. Like we'll say a coin on edge is going to be more of a line. So there's these little anomalies that you learn and all that sort of stuff. But yes, you definitely see some shapes that appear. And that's what I love. But it's not only about the shape, but it's also about how solid, how strong of a signal it is. If it's a very weak signal, then your trace is very faint. If it's a very strong, then your trace is strong. So, I mean, it's mind-blowing the amount of information that it's giving you, including the ferrous properties. All of this information really helps. It really helps. I find I'm smiling every time I feel like it's a vacation. I just feel like it's a vacation when I'm using it.
Okay, well, that's good to know because a lot of our customers do have the 800, and that would be a good one to upgrade to, a good reason. We have a question Jocelyn just told me from Sam Truckley. So with the Knox 800 and the Manticore, it will be able to tell me what is a pull tab and what is gold or silver?
Okay. Well, yes, actually.
I don't know that it's a perfect size.
Well, the thing is you really get to know the trace. Like with me, when I'm at the beach, I still dig the pull tab I'm so afraid of missing a ring. So I still dig them, but I can see clearly on the trace, because when you go one way, you see the circle. You go the opposite way, and it's like an oval shape. So it's stretched out a little bit. So, and with that exact target ID number, you just know it is, but I'll dig them anyway. Like I said, I'm too afraid to miss them, but I'm so accurate. I'm calling everything out, and that's what it is when I'm digging it out. So it's sweet.
Yeah, so I guess you're using the sound, the visual display, and the number, and making your decision on that. Now, are you talking about the pull tab, the beaver tail, or are you talking about the square can pull tab?
So they're awesome. What's really neat about the beaver tail, okay, so the square one is the one that one way it's going to be circular, the other way you see a bit of an oval. The beaver tail, I was amazed because, I mean, aluminum is definitely going to come onto that center line. But with the beaver tail, it almost has this little drop that comes down from your circle. So it's almost mimicking, I find, a beaver tail, because I literally see like almost a teardrop. And whenever I see that teardrop with that target ID, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a beaver tail. So yes, I'm noticing that I can tell what they are by the shapes and the target ID and the visual, everything. It's amazing.
Yeah, I guess
It's
if you're
fun.
making an educated decision, I think personally I would still, I would have to dig hundreds and hundreds of targets before I would be confident enough to
Yeah.
pass up on that. Especially,
Absolutely. You know, it's hard. Like I don't pass them up because, like I said, I'm so afraid, but it just keeps so accurate that it hasn't tricked me yet. And I'm hoping it does, because I want to find the ring, you know, instead of a pull tab.
It's the same thing with the
The
Equinox.
same thing with
Often you kind of know it's probably not good, but you still dig it anyway, hoping that, you know.
But you don't
Not
have
everything
to.
not everything is perfect tone, perfect signal, you know.
But you don't have to. I cherry pick sometimes when I'm not in the mood to dig a lot. I'll actually cherry pick and have it blast. You know, it's like I
right.
look at my finds and my trash, and I'm like, wow.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
you
it
going for
looks
everything
like,
that goes on.
yeah, we've got a question up. Can you use the 800 coils on the Manticore?
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I have a lot of coils for my Equinox that I wish I can use right now in the Manticore, but they don't fit. But the coils for the Equinox and the Xterra, I believe, are interchangeable. So
Yes, they are.
Also, the coil
700, 900, the Xterra Pro, while the 800
The Equinox series
and 600.
Yeah,
They're
Coil Tech coils.
What did you say, Jeff? I didn't hear you.
Coil Tech coils.
Yeah, the Coiltech Equinox coils are interchangeable with the Xterra,
But not the Manticore.
but not the Manticore.
No.
Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. And you guys haven't seen a new coil for your Manticore yet, have you?
Not yet, not yet. I'm anxious to possibly have a small coil for extreme high trash times. I miss with the Equinox, I always use my stock, but I would say 15% of the time I throw on a small coil, and I kind of miss having that option right now.
Yeah, I always swear by the small coils for any relic or trashy areas. I always use those first, and then if I find anything cool or old, then I'll go over the same property with the bigger coil. But I love a small coil for, especially in our area here in the U.S. You know, if it's any amount of time of activity, there's going to be trash everywhere. And I just think the smaller coil is a good addition to your arsenal, no matter what detector brand you're using, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were using a small coil on the Equinox.
Yeah.
Yes, last time.
10x5 right now on the Equinox. The Coiltech one.
Yeah, I like that coil too. The Coiltech coil is awesome. So how long have you had that Manticore?
Oh, it's over a year. Sure, over a year. I think it was in December.
December 2021.
When I received it too, we're in the middle of winter, so all I could do is air testing and stuff like that. That was torturous, really torturous. But yeah, it's been about a year and some. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's good because we haven't had them really available hear that much. And now in the shop today, I think we have 3 of them in stock, which is like unbelievable because they're.
I'm so happy to hear. I'm hearing more and more people having them in stock. So I'm really happy to hear. It means that they've been they're catching up.
Yeah,
so
they're catching up.
Yes. So what do you think of the learning curve on it if you're coming from the Equinox?
I've seen both. How was my learning curve? It was very short and easy. But I've seen some people with a much longer learning curve. If you're somebody who's coming from the Equinox and you were using your recovery speed and your sensitivity and you understood those settings and you use them whenever you needed to, those people may have an easier learning curve. The people that always like to turn on and go and just use the same settings for everywhere, they may struggle a little more, I think.
For me, it was the 99 target ID scale. Just getting back used to 99 ID scale. I was doing 100 scale with the MXT Pro before, and when I got the 40, I got used to the 40 scale of the Equinox, and now that I'm used to the 40 scale, I tried the Manticore, and it's like, okay, what comes to top?
All of a sudden, you're doing all this math, you know.
So that was the biggest thing for me. Besides that, it was
we had it really simple.
Learning the 2D ID screen,
yeah. I found everything was really, really simple to learn, but I didn't realize that a lot of people were having difficulty with it. They would just turn on and go and try in really high trash, and they boost up their sensitivity as high as they can, and they're using a low recovery, and so I see a lot of people complain and struggle, but you can make that machine as sweet and as stable and as wonderful as you need to, but you do need to understand those settings and to utilize them. Yeah.
Okay. So you adjust your sensitivity often?
Yes. Oh, yes, I do. I am continuously adjusting it because I definitely want to get the max depth possible, and but at the same time, if it's causing me a lot of issues and there's too many signals and it's overwhelming, decreasing it is going to quiet things down a little bit. It's going to make it easier on you. So and also,
depending on where you are, the
EMI as well. I can walk, 20, 50 feet, and then the EMI is not so bad. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to crank this baby up, and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm continuously adjusting. I'm always playing with my sensitivity. Recovery speed I adjust, but not as often as sensitivity, I think. But
okay, how are the stock programs? If someone was buying that for their first detector, what do you think of it?
If they were going to buy the Manticore as their first detector?
Yes, first detector, yes.
I think it's possible. It's very possible for somebody to succeed, because I've seen absolute new detectorists grab that Equinox and they did better than veteran detectorists. I feel that new detectorists are very open-minded. They're learning everything. They're going slow. They're digging everything. I think for sure. Even a new detectorist can pick that up and learn it. The navigation and the settings are really easy. It's just basically you'd have to start and understand what all these settings do. So it would take them some time, but I think it's very possible. I mean, like I said, the navigation, going through it. If you stick with the stock settings, you can just stick with the stock settings and off you go. But as you go, if you start noticing little things and you're struggling a little bit, well, those settings will help. Then you're going to want to get into those and learn what you can do to stabilize.
The basics are important. So it depends if you send the beginner with the Manticore into a trash infested place that's falsifying stuff, you need. Maybe very difficult, frustrating too. So
put them in a quiet beach or a park somewhere like that. They're gonna love it.
So if you have somebody that is looking at the Minelab lineup right now, the 600, the 700, 800, and 900. Let's say just the Equinox lineup, because that's more affordable for them. What are the differences between 6, 7, 8, and 900s that they should be aware of?
Who were we asking? We asking Lori?
Yeah.
I think it's really the same differences or reasons you'd go for the 6 or the 800. You know, if you need those extra single frequencies, stuff like that. But then I feel like for me, the 7 and 900 are definitely upgrades from the 6 and 800, right? So I would probably opt for the newer one just because it's a faster, more powerful unit.
It has also target ID range of the 99 as well. And I
Right.
personally, going from the 40 and 50 up to the
Yeah.
99, I love it. I like it a lot better.
Precision, I guess.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why I would recommend the 900s for more power, for a larger target ID scale. I've heard, I've heard great things about the new upgrades, but the 800, the 600, and the 800 are amazing. Like, I'm surprised that they were able to improve it with the other ones, but the whole line is all a fantastic line.
But like example, here in Canada, a lot of people they want to have the 40 kilohertz single frequency
Right.
for the Canadian clad. They swear by it. That's what they want to use. And some people that have the 600 can't use that, and they may regret not having the 40 kilohertz.
They do. We hear
So
that
if you're going to upgrade like to the 7 or 900, that's a consideration too. Versus why not take the 700 versus the 900.
Right. The 40 kilohertz is really great for finding the small gold and stuff too. So there's a lot of benefits.
You've got the prospecting mode. Right?
You have the benefits of the single
gold prospecting mode on that one.
Mm-hmm. But they're all fantastic lineup. The differences is the ability of the settings, what you're able to adjust and how much you can adjust them. And
I'm still swinging the 800.
You're still swinging the 800. Yes, you are.
Okay, so let's just say we got somebody that's coming into the hobby, okay, and they're looking at Minelab machines. Would you recommend that they buy an Equinox, one of the Equinox series, or jump into the Manticore?
Okay. I would probably ask their experience. If it's a beginner, I would most likely introduce them to the Vanquish or the new Xterra Pro, especially if they want to do beach hunting. So
the Xterra Pro, being the single VLF, is not going to work good on salt sand.
They do have a beach mode with 8 kilohertz, and I heard it was kind of pretty stable. It did pretty good because it's using 8 kilohertz and it has a beach mode on the Xterra Pro.
Okay.
So I heard so far on salt, but I don't know. I haven't experienced it myself on salt. I'm just listening to what I've been hearing other people say.
Yeah, I haven't taken it on the salt beach yet, but I've watched YouTube videos of people using it on the salt beach, and it had decent performance. I don't think it's going to give you the same depth as the multi-frequency, the Vanquish, but the trade-off is it's waterproof. So if it budget was important, price, if they're real price conscious, I would say go with that extra Pro. To get somebody into detecting their first time, to have a waterproof detector at $269, that's pretty crazy, especially
if they were a beginner, this is where I would go, just because of the simplicity of them to use, and it would be great to get them into it. Now, if they've been detecting, a year, even 6 months, and they want to upgrade already, I would definitely recommend the Equinox series. Would I recommend the Manticore right away to somebody? I'd probably mention the other one first, but if they say, can I do this? I'd be absolutely, I'll help you through the learning curve. I'll explain it all to you. It's easy to learn.
Yeah. There's budget involved.
Budget as well. There's such a huge difference.
If a person is technically inclined versus somebody that doesn't want to deal with settings, and
some people really like the simplicity.
So
yeah. So it depends on the person. I'd probably ask them quite a lot of questions. I mean, before purchasing a detector, there's a lot of questions. What type of hunting you're going to be doing? How long have you been metal detecting for? How patient are you? How patient are you? That's another good one. Because if you're somebody very patient, then yes, I think you are capable of using any detector out there and learning anything. Nothing's impossible.
Yeah, and I think the Equinox series, the 600 and the 800 were excellent detectors. They still are. but I try to steer people to the 700 and 900 because they're more waterproof deeper. So I'm going to think that that means they're more waterproof. Because let's face it,
you say they're more robust.
It's definitely an upgrade. Yeah.
So it is an upgrade.
And that carbon fiber shaft and the expanded target ID number system, I think is worth the additional money for that.
I think so too. I have to agree with that. We were in Toronto, and we were definitely, you know, pushing and showing everybody the 700 and the 900. Definitely, the power for me was a big one. And
yeah, I haven't had a chance to use the 700 and 900 out on the beach, but I know they'll perform like the 600 and the 800 does. And I like the backlight, and I haven't used the light that you can, I guess, light your coil up with. That's kind of a cool feature too. And it's just the consumer wins in all these detectors because one manufacturer brings it out and then the other, everybody's got it. You know, so to me, they're just awesome detectors. I did see a question on there, and Jeff, I think, might have popped it up for a second, and I can't remember who asked it, but is the Manticore worth the extra money? That was the question.
Yes, without a doubt. Yes, without a doubt. Absolutely. I love this machine so much. I never thought anything would take the Equinox 800 out of my hands. I honestly didn't. I thought that was going to be my machine forever. I've been running it for 5 years, but after my third hunt with the Manticore, I kind of hung up the Equinox for Eric. You know, he doesn't get to use it anymore.
I don't get to use the Manticore anymore so much. You know, I got to try to pry it out of her hands.
He does. And when he does get it out of my hands, I'm a little cranky and a little pouty, and you know, but I absolutely think it's worth it if you know, just all the additional, I mean, it's so much fun. It's just so much fun to use, and it's worth it. I think it's totally worth it, especially if you've been in the hobby for a long time, and you know, you're all about analyzing, and if you don't like eating garbage, well, this could be the machine for you too.
Yeah, you could be more.
Because I can cherry pick. Now I've been using it for so long that now I'm at a point where I can literally cherry pick, and I have more good finds than I do trash. And I've never seen that in all my years. And I'm just shocked at the capability of this machine. I'm shocked. When you know how to read it, when you know what it's telling you and its language, when you're watching the trades, you're listening, you're using all of its features, it's mind-blowing.
So can we expect a digital how-to?
I have about 5 of them already out. I had started about 5 of them. I'm not too sure how many I'm going to be creating. There's so much information out there. So I just took a moment just to kind of analyze to see what it is that people are asking, what questions do they have, what do they need to know, what do they want to know. And from what I'm seeing is there's already a lot of great information out there. So I'm not too sure if it's needed. If it's needed, everybody let me know what you want to know and this sort of stuff. But as I see, there was just such a large amount of information out there already. So I didn't know if it was really needed anymore. So I don't know. I did 5 basic ones. So
what, Eric fall off the side of the earth there or what?
Yeah, it did. There he is.
There he is. He must have been hungry.
Okay, so Laurie, what is your favorite item that you found with the Manticore so far?
Gold, lots of gold. Lots of gold. Yeah, gold, small fine gold, 19.2 Portuguese gold.
Been finding small.
I'm finding the smallest, like this tiny little cross, little earrings. I'm finding small gold, and honestly, I mean, we all rather find a big chunky gold, right? But I think because of the challenge it is to find small gold, that I'm happy. I like my little cross. I like my little
gold chains.
So gold, I mean, it's I'm having a field day finding the gold. We found I mean, both
The
together.
Manticore loves gold.
Oh, it loves gold. It hits hard, and even on the small little earrings and stuff, and you can hear it. It's crisp. It hits hard. It gives you gold fever. Like we started last fall, I think. Well, when was it? August or September in the water?
August.
August, and in 3 months we found about $1,000 worth of melt value in gold alone. We found about twice as much of silver. I mean, just a handful of gold and silver.
We went in the water for the first time seriously. You know, we spent a few months going every weekend pretty much in the water,
teaching
at the beach, freshwater beaches.
Yeah. Because it's something we hadn't found a lot. We were hunting relics and coins and this sort of stuff.
Years. So.
But I always wanted the jewelry, and he wanted the coins, so I finally won, and now we're looking for jewelry.
So where you said you were hunting in the water, what water were you hunting?
Freshwater.
Freshwater.
Yeah.
Freshwater rivers and lakes were probably about how far from the ocean? 3, 4, 5 miles?
Oh.
From saltwater? We're pretty far.
Further.
Okay.
Even further.
And Jeff had asked you about the gold chains. How's it? Have you found many gold chains?
This is my challenge. I mean, realistically, I think we've only had a few weeks. Our season just started a few weeks ago. We had a really late spring. We had snow. It was flooded. Everything's flooded. All our beaches, all where the sand is on our beaches is probably up to your waist right now. So all the sand area is now underwater. So we've been really kind of limited in places we can go with the flooding, and even our farm field looked like a lake right now. It was crazy. It's like all flooded. So we've been very limited, so only a few times out, but I'm looking for the gold chains. I've done some tests and everything else, and that's my goal. That's all I want to do is find a gold chain this year. That's my biggest challenge. And I know
find one too.
You're going to find one too? We'll see who finds one first.
I've been practicing with that good gold chain you have.
I've been practicing too, so he's going to find it first.
It's solid one on the class. Solid one on the class.
With the Equinox, and I find that the Manticore, even if it's a really, really fine chain, that little tiny loop clasp, it's going to hit it. It's going to hit for sure. It's going to hit that little loop clasp on the very fine chains. You know, the ones that are almost see-through and transparent.
Okay.
Well, that little clasp in the back, it'll hit it on it. And I've done multiple times.
It rings a 1 on the Equinox, and what does it read on the Manticore?
That a 1 would be about a 3.
3
at about a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the part of the target ID numbers, I kind of double it to understand. Like when I went from the Manticore, if I got like a 10 on the Manticore, then I'd be like, oh yeah, that was around a 5 on the Equinox. And then in the center, it's like times 2.5 or something. So I had this mathematical equation when I first started, and I was doing math the whole time trying to figure out what my target ID number were.
Are we still there?
Yes.
Everything's falling here. Nice job.
What's that?
I got ghost or something. My light fell down, everything.
Oh, well, now it's time for a word from our sponsor, though.
Let's go, Jeff.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, guys. This is Big Poppy from Myers Metal Detectors. Wanted to let you know we got a big shipment in. We got about 20 of these bad boys. This is the Actera Pro. Single VLF, completely waterproof. We sell these in the shop for $269.95. Awesome detector. Also, we have the Minelab Manticore. These are highly, highly sought after machines. Very, very small distribution out there. But we do have these in inventory, and we sell these in the shop for $1599.95. Come to the shop and see us, and we'll make you an offer you can't refuse, if you know what I mean. Hey guys, this is Big Poppy with Myers Metal Detectors. Just want to let you know we did get a huge shipment of the Minelab 900s. The 900s come with the 11-inch coil and the 6-inch coil. This is another sought after machine. Come see us. All carbon fiber shaft. Call us. Come see us. We love you.
That's the professional actor. That's the Sazich.
Yes, that's
Big Sazich.
Big Poppy. So Jocelyn just asked me about a question on here. Have you heard about gold chains not hitting on the Manticore, or even balled up? And I'm going to air test some tomorrow, but I'm sure that's not true.
I don't know. I haven't heard all my testing, everything, all the gold I've tested. Like I said, even my daughter's super fine gold chain, I was able to hit it. I don't know how far, what was their sensitivity? How far were they swinging it above the coil? I mean, we all know that, you know, some gold, depending on the depth, you know, I know some people were doing tests with 6 inches above it. And I'm like, and your sensitivity is not high enough. You know, you got to play with those settings. And that's why I'm always saying how it's important to play with those settings. You need to know the settings if you're going to do tests. That's for sure. Sorry. There's just, I've seen so many videos out there of people trying to say there's a problem. And I can tell right away just by looking at their settings and their screen and what they're doing that I'm going, okay, no, you know, you'll have to try this. You have to do and they go on, you know. So I haven't seen that yet.
It's possible.
It's possible
in a
though,
certain
but
setting or a certain,
maybe in a certain setting
not
or
every setting or everything
or something. I don't know. I haven't. I'd have to test it myself then to see if I can find a way not to hear it.
Yeah.
I think
Well, the thing of it is, there is no piece of equipment made by any manufacturer and any kind of equipment that is infallible 100% of the time.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on the area you're at, all of the conditions. Anything can happen. But overall, for everything that I have seen on the Manticore, it is a killer machine. Everything points to that. I mean, every machine's going to have some problems. That just goes without saying. But the Minelab Manticore is a top-notch machine. You said it takes a little bit of a learning curve. You've always got the people that say, oh, well, I'm buying the Manticore because it's killer on gold. And they go out the first time. If they don't find fine gold rings, you know, oh, this thing ain't finding them. It's no good. Well, you know what? They were probably detecting in a parking lot. So, you know, there's always reasons.
That's the thing. There's a lot. I guess I got a little upset in the beginning of the release of the Manticore. I'm not upset, but I think I got a little disappointed because there was a lot of negativity surrounding it, and all due to not understanding the machine, not setting it up properly, and stuff like that. But yeah, there's everything is always a work in progress. Everything is always a work in progress. It's really important to know how to adjust your sensitivity for those certain, sorry, I keep going back to sensitivity, but you know, there's definitely, it's good to learn the machine and understand your machine. So when you're out there, you know what to do. You don't have to rely on somebody else's settings and what they say. If you know how those settings work and what they're for, you'll be very successful, I'm sure, but you can stabilize it and hear what you want to hear.
Yeah, I've got Surfside Dan said he tested 17 gold chains and was able to pick all 17 up with the Manticore. So,
Awesome.
you know, I think a lot of times it's tough to hit a chain anyway. You really got to know your detector. You have
to know your detector, but you also, you need to know your detector. You need to know the conductivity and the signal strength of things. You know, you just need to know this information when you're doing your testing. If something's not right, if you can't pick something up, then reach out to somebody and ask them, give them your settings and all this sort of stuff. And, you know, even myself, you can send me a message anytime if you're not picking something up. And I'll definitely work through it and see what we can do and what happened and what's going on. And definitely, if there's something wrong, Minelab wants to know. You know, Minelab wants to know if there's something wrong with that machine, if it's really something wrong, and it's not just a setting, they definitely want to know to improve it. So if anybody's struggling and if there's something that's not happening, well, contact me and we'll talk about your settings. We'll go over it. We'll see what's going on. And if it's really an issue, I'll definitely bring it up.
And plus, when they contact you, don't just contact you, say, oh, I can't find any gold. My settings must be messed up. Because if they don't tell you where they're hunting and what the conditions are, there's no way that you can give them any setting.
I'll ask them. I have like a whole list of questions before I even give an answer. I have like, I'll have a list of questions for them before I even answer one question.
Okay, now we've had a number of questions about the tones, the differences in the tones. The Manticore, you can do 5 or 50 or what? I don't know. I haven't researched.
Yeah, you have similar kind of tone choices that you did with the Equinox, but now you have additional. You have like a 5-tone all region. So within those 5 tones, you can adjust. You can adjust them higher or lower within those. No, there's a lot of different options. Me personally, I really love the 1-tone all regions, I believe it's called. So it's very similar to what my 50 tones was, well, 100 tones now, because it's almost like a different tone for every target ID, the gradient one. So you have a lot of options, a lot more options than you did with the Equinox, that's for sure, for tone choices. And what you can do within those tones, you can adjust the pitches and all that sort of stuff of each one. So I'm not sure if that answers the question at all. Or
trial and error. Yeah, trial and error. I mean, you can't mess it up. So get in there and try it and see what you like. You can always do a factory reset if you need to.
I did mess it up, and it took me a bit to figure out what was wrong with my machine, because I was doing an earring search, and every time I would go over the earring, I'm like, okay, it's showing that it's a non-ferrous, and it's giving me an ID of 2, but the audio was off, and I kept getting iron, and I was like, how can 2 be iron? And I was kind of freaking out, and then I went into my tone, and I realized I wasn't in my 1-tone all region. For my 2-tone all region, I was in 5-tone, and I think the first was too low, and it was sounding more like iron. Yeah, so I did mess it up. I did. It took me probably about 20 minutes or more, an hour or so, until I finally went, what is going on? And went into my settings and went, what? How did I get there? Like, I never changed this. So anyway, it's possible.
Well, that happens often. I think it just happened to me on this show here. Jeff, you didn't remind me to stream on Facebook, and I just did that just now. Were you streaming on Facebook, Jeff?
We're on Facebook. We're on Treasure Talk Facebook. If you're going to stream on Facebook, you need to just do it on Myers Metal Detectors.
Oh, okay, cool. I think I might have done that. So or maybe we're streaming twice.
We probably that's all right.
That's okay, as long as the button's been pushed and we remember to do it. All righty. So are we giving something away tonight, Jeff?
We are indeed.
Is it time for that?
It is time. I was just going to pop it up there.
Okay.
So what we are giving away a wonderful cap and fines pouch from CKG Scoops. So you all know the drill. You had to enter either on Facebook or here on YouTube. You have to be a member. And if you enter on Facebook, you have to be a member, because that's the only way you can do it on Facebook. And on Treasure Talk YouTube, you must be a member. You must be tuned in to win. You will see my phone number down there. When I call your name, and only when I call your name, please text me within 3 minutes with your name and you are here. Now, the phrase that you had to use is CKG means quality, and it certainly does. And their scoops and all the rest of their products. So I'm getting ready to call the names. Get ready. You'll have 3 minutes to text me for a CKG camouflage hat and fines pouch. And they're a very nice product, let me tell you. So Rick T, you are the winner. You got 3 minutes to text me.
He's on there. I see it right now. Hey, while they're doing that, did you call on the names, Jeff, both of them? Or are we just doing one?
We're just doing one.
Okay. All right. So I got some more questions here. And this one is from who? From Moose in New York. He's asking, is there any updates coming out for the Manticore? Software update or firmware, whatever they call it?
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay. But you haven't heard anything yet. Or you have. You're just not wanting to share it. Okay.
I don't know.
And then I was reading in the comment here that somebody, and I can't find it here, was saying that the backlight, I guess the light for the coil needs to be red, so we're not interfering with the turtles. So that could be a firmware update.
And that was Surfside Dan, and he wants the little flashlight that's on it.
Yeah, he wants it
That's
red.
what he means, that in Florida at night, and I'm sure up in the Carolinas as well, during turtle season, the no flashlights on the beach. A lot of the condos on the beach have to turn their lights out. So if you're using that little flashlight, you shouldn't do that during turtle season. Now the screen, with the red screen, that's fine, but it's just a flashlight.
I did not know that. That's definitely something I can bring up as a suggestion. I didn't know that. We have snapping turtles here. That's about it.
You got to spot them suckers. We're talking about the sea turtles when they come up and they lay their eggs.
Yeah.
And they'll get drawn away for different lights.
Yeah, and lights will scare them off. So.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I had no idea. So a red light won't do that, though.
No, I don't think they
the screen light's not going to do it. It's not bright enough, but it's like
we're
a night
not
vision.
The light that goes down to the coil, right? As a red one instead?
Yes. So that would be a good firmware update for sure.
Well, but yeah, it might. Then again, it might not, because only during turtle season, if people like the flashlight, they like it for a reason, that it's bright.
Yes.
Right.
And it will illuminate the coil, whereas the night vision light is not going to do that nearly as well. So all you got to do is I don't think that we need any firmware update for that light. You just don't use it during turtle season. You know?
Huh. Or go to the debate.
So
now,
just
snapping turtles, yes, so you can harvest them.
We
they
want
make good soup.
And Laurie, Martin Bishop I'm reading his comment on the live stream. He said, I love the book on the Equinox, waiting on the one on the Manticore, please.
Yeah, Jeff started that. That was Jeff that got me to write that. Maybe I will do one on the Manticore, because there's a lot of misunderstandings and stuff like this. And, maybe a book might help. Maybe I'll do one on that one too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't started it. I haven't started anything, but I got tons and tons of notes from all my tutorials and stuff like that. I'm building my experience knowledge, just like with the Equinox. I really want to, exactly. I need to use it, become really efficient with it, really know it really well before I believe I can write a book. I know it really well right now, and I'm really comfortable with it, but there's still some things that I'm still learning. There's still some situations and some things that I'm still kind of learning, but maybe in the future.
See, here's one. We know who that is. That is the Pink Power Girl.
Holly, my favorite.
The Pink Power Girl, Pinky.
Yeah.
She's
so Laurie and Eric, what temperature is it at where you're at right now?
It's up and down like a roller coaster, but today was really nice. It was 23 degrees Celsius,
which would be comfort zone for, like, with the comfort zone. What is that for you guys?
70.
70s probably.
Yeah.
I think we were in the 90s today. So
yeah, we were. It was hotter than old Billy.
It's not hot, and right now it's kind of like sweater weather, where you put on a sweater in the morning, you take it off in the afternoon, you put back on in the evening. That's it's my favorite weather.
So as we come to notice here, for those that want to learn more about the Manticore, the tutorials on your YouTube channel, Relic Dirtyhands, are superb.
Thank you.
Make sure that you go over to Relic Dirtyhands on YouTube. There's a lot of content there that you'll definitely want to see if you are a Minelab user in any way, shape, or form, be it Vanquish, Xterra Pro, Equinox, or now the Manticore. That is the channel that you definitely want to subscribe to and watch, because you will learn anything you need to know about Minelab on that channel.
Like I said, anybody can reach out anytime and ask us questions. We're here for that anytime.
Awesome. Hey, I just wanted to make this comment. Andrew P. is on, I guess, YouTube, and he said 60 people are watching here, but only 21 likes. So hit the like button.
Right over those likes.
Well, there's a lot more watching than 61, but that's just what's in the chat.
Yeah, and that's just on YouTube. And I never even knew there was a like button, so that shows you how much I know. But
Phil, do not press any buttons.
Do not press any buttons.
No.
Eric pressed a button earlier and we got knocked off. We had to call back in.
No. Phil is noted to be a button presser.
For knocking myself off.
So.
And today I have my lights fall and a couple of things fall off the shelf. I swear I have ghosts here tonight. And it looks like Andrew T asked a question. Are Eric and Lori going to the Toronto event on the 3rd of June?
No, that one's the Nokta sponsored event. No, we're not going to be attending that one. I heard rumors had it that Minelab was going to have one possibly in this fall in Toronto, and I believe that's the one we'll be attending. We had just come back from Toronto in, was it April, March, end of March? We were there for at a sportsman show.
Yep.
So we're just going to space it out a little bit, because if not, it would have been spacing it out a little.
Well, you know, it makes sense, being as how you are Minelab experts, that you possibly wouldn't go to a Nocta-sponsored show.
Yeah.
That may be frowned upon.
I just,
I'm sure I get along with all those.
We get along with all our, like some of our friends are using Nokta, and we get along with everyone. But yeah, I think it'd be odd with our hats on and our you know, I'm like.
Well, just like you said, I'm sure Minelab will do something, and that would be, you know, that's where your expertise really comes into play, is at a Minelab event, because people that flock to the Minelab event are Minelab users and want the information. You know, it would not be, it'd be counterproductive to go to an event that's sponsored by Nokta and there's nothing but Nokta users there. You know, they're not going to ask you anything about the Manticore or the Equinox. So
You still really want to go.
It's valuable.
I love everybody, and I want to see everybody, you know. So I was a little disappointed, but at the same time, it's like I'll get to see everyone soon. I'm sure. I'm sure we'll be back into Toronto for that next event, and I'll be looking for. I was looking forward to it for a long time now, and we still don't have a date. So.
Well, it'll get there. It'll get there. So now that the Minelab product seems to be filling the supply chain more readily, we hope for your sake, Philip.
Yes, I hope so. For
Because
sure.
people have been going crazy. Their hair's been on fire because they can't get the Manticore.
Yes.
And so everything seems to be going good now, Lori. You and Eric just need to do another digital how-to, you know.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at the next one, what the next one on my list was. But I think I already had it started.
That's good to know. That's very good to know.
Next one. Yeah.
So it is at witching hour time, Philip. So
yes, it is. So we're so glad you guys were on here with us. And real quick, like, because we're running right out of time, have you used that Xterra Pro? W?
Have we used it?
Yeah, you used it yet? No?
Yeah.
We haven't tried the Xterra Pro or the new 700 and 900.
Okay.
We haven't tried them.
Right.
We've only had the Manticore to try. So.
Okay, well, we're glad you're on here and sharing your expertise on the Equinox and the Manticore for sure. And I'm sure Jeff's going to ask you to come on again at a later date. But thank you for being on here with us. And thank you, Jocelyn, for putting up with me with your sore tooth. And we're going to run her to the drugstore and get her medication.
Yep. So I'm going to X you out of here.
Okay, do so.
Okay. So now you're stuck with me. So, great show. You guys are always great because your knowledge is, you emote with your knowledge and are so happy to share it. A lot of people don't want to share their knowledge, and you guys have never been like that.
I feel it's so important to share knowledge because it really reduces people's frustration and their learning curve. And I mean, this hobby is all about having fun. And if you're frustrated and you're not having fun and it sucks, and we know how that feels. So I wish I had somebody that I could lean on when I was learning all these routines. So I didn't. I wish I did. So that's why I guess I'm here for everybody, because I know it's great to have, just to bounce things off, ideas, everything. I know how important it is to learn, and it helps learn. It really speeds up the process of learning, and then you just have fun after. So.
Well, we got one quick question before we go. Does Minelab have a 9.5 by 5 elliptical coil? But it depends. It's not for the Manticore. They don't. I think in the Equinox series, Coiltech makes a 9 by 5. Do they not?
Yeah, Coiltech 10 by 5.
Is what, 10
Yeah. The Coiltech coil, which is a killer coil.
9.5. I haven't heard of any half sizes. I
think it's a 9 by 5. So it's the same type of thing. It's elliptical coil by Coiltech. It's called the Nox series, and it'll fit on any of the Nox. It's not going to work on the Manticore. It's not going to work, I don't think, on the Xterra Pro. I may be wrong with that because it's a multi-frequency type coil. But any of the Equinox series.
Oh, just a 10 by 5, not a 9 by 5.
It's a 10 by.
It's a 10 by 5. Okay, I heard the 9 by 5, and I was like,
So
I thought that was a new coil or something else.
So Louis, that's what you want to get, the Coiltech, if you're talking for Equinox.
You know, the 10 by 5, when it came to the Equinox of all the coils, it was my favorite because of the shape of it. And when I was in the woods and in the corn stalks and stuff like this, it just fits anywhere. It goes anywhere, and it doesn't feel frustrating because you feel like you're covering ground too.
The separation you have and its agility between the corn stalk, like you say, or in between rocks or saplings in the forest or whatever, you're talking 5 inches wide, which is narrower than a 6-inch round coil.
Yes.
But you still have 10 inches for coverage. So you don't feel like you're not getting anywhere. 10 inches is only an inch less than your stock 11-inch. So when you're walking around, you feel like you're covering ground, but you're getting really the maneuverability and the separation, even more so than your 6-inch round one.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So that's the coil I would get for your Nox.
Yeah.
So guys, thanks a bunch for being here tonight. We sure enjoyed it. I will be in touch. We'll get you back here in the fall.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Who else we might have on? We may have another Girls of Canada show, which Eric means you're going to have to shave your legs, man.
Him just shaving is a miracle when he does. I mean, he didn't even today.
It's all right. It's okay.
I'm still in winter mode.
You're still in winter mode, yeah.
That's
no,
right. That's right. It's called the Grizzly Adams syndrome, and that's okay. It's, you're in Canada, it gets cold, keep your face warm,
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. And everybody out there, make sure that you tune in on Sunday, where we will debut Motley Digging Tools in a special show. So make sure you tune in Sunday at 4:30 Eastern Time in the afternoon for a really good show, and you might win a Motley grass knife. See y'all then. Happy hunting, everybody, and dig deeper. Bye, guys.
Bye.